Are you currently part of the transport team that is responsible for an inmate by the name of Robert Allen, who's also been listed as a state witness in the case of State of Florida versus 3 co-defendants for the homicide of Jaseon Foy?
Yes, I have been assigned with the transport of Mr. Robert Allen.
Have you been with Mr. Allen since, I believe it was Monday, as part of his transport team to assist in getting him here for trial?
Yes.
Okay. Is there an incident that happened today on February 9th that you alerted the state attorney's office to regarding some comments, threats, or however intimidation that was made by one of the co-defendants directed specifically at Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Who was the co-defendant or co-defendants that was involved in this incident?
The co-defendant that we can identify as Mr. Newsome.
Okay. And what is it that, tell us what it is that you notified the state with. What happened?
As directed by Your Honor, Mr. Robert Allen was supposed to come up here first. But as the procedures and normal operations of the jails, they usually pull the court docket kind of early, so unfortunately the defendants were in the holding area before we could come up here.
And if I just may, when you say defendants, who were the defendants that were in the holding area?
The only one I know of now is Mr. Newsome.
Okay. So he was in the holding area, and then what happened next?
We notified the Braves that we're coming up with the high profile so they can secure it, lock everybody down. They put these drapes on the windows, try to clear the hallway. As we're making our way over here, what we can hear is Mr. Newsome yell out. There he is working with the police. He's the popo. Also said, you're working with the white man now. And those are the comments.
Now, when you say we, you actually heard the comments coming from Mr. Newsome directed at Mr. Allen?
As I was escorting him over here to court.
Okay. And as Mr. Allen was walking, from as far as you could tell, was there anything obstructing Mr. Allen from being able to hear? Like, he didn't have anything on his ears or anything like that? Was he?
No.
How close was Mr. Allen standing to you?
Closer than you and I.
Okay. And right now, how many feet would you say we are apart from?
Anywhere from 3.5.
Okay, and he was closer than 3.5 feet?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there any other witnesses to this besides yourself and Mr. Allen?
He was yelling it loud enough so anyone in the hall could hear him.
And when you say he, you're referring to Mr. Newsome?
Correct.
Okay. How long did this tirade of comments and explicatives or whatever go towards Mr. Allen?
Time-wise, I cannot actually say. We can say if it was anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute, however long it took us to turn the corner and walk past this house.
Did Mr. Allen, prior to, during, or after, say anything with respect to that?
Nope.
So from what you could see, was there any provocation by Mr. Allen towards Mr. Newsome regarding before this incident occurred?
No, ma'am.
And how did it stop?
Once we were out of view.
So basically, Mr. Newsome continued to do it until he couldn't see Mr. Allen anymore, from your perspective?
From my perspective, yes.
No further questions.
Deputy, you would agree these men are supposed to have no contact with each other whatsoever, is that correct?
Ideally, yes.
Okay. Now, you said you were in the process of putting up curtains.
No, I did not.
Or what?
I did not put out curtains, no.
No, but you said you guys were in the process of doing that when he
No.
walked by?
No, the way you're saying it is incorrect.
Explain to me what you were telling us about.
The curtains were already up
Okay, so
before we got down there.
That's
As
so
we're walking down the hallway, as if I'm walking to you, that's where Newsome's cell was. He
okay.
starts saying
Right,
his
you don't have to
comments.
approach me, sir.
No, so we can get,
That's okay. I would appreciate it if you
And
don't
then
approach
once
me.
we walk through here, that's when everything stopped.
Okay, so you're saying Newsom could see him
Through the cracks, yes, of the doors.
through the cracks? And
Because they're not very solid.
Okay, so how do you know Mr. Newsom is the person that made these statements? How many people were in that holding cell?
He was in the holding cell by himself.
There was only one. Okay, and how do you know that?
Mr. Newsome has a pair of tan shoes. He was assigned to that cell this morning. So we can verify that.
You saw the tan shoes, is what you're saying?
Yeah, there's a space.
Okay, so you saw tan shoes behind the wall, and you believe Mr. Newsom was there.
Yeah, we can verify that by calling down there and
Is
getting
this an
the
area that was recorded and videotaped where this occurs?
There is possibly videotape, but not audio.
Okay. What exactly did you hear said?
Can you turn this way a little bit? Okay.
Sure. I heard him say, "There he is working for the police, you're the po-po, you're working for the white man now."
And you believe that was directed towards the witness?
Of
Mr.
course,
Allen?
yes.
Did Mr. Allen react in any way to
No.
what you said you heard?
Nope.
Didn't say anything to you?
Nope.
You didn't say anything to him about it?
To Mr. Allen?
Yes.
No, I didn't want to upset him.
Now, when you were being escorted into the courtroom, outside the presence of the jurors, being brought in and placed on the stand, after you started testifying, were there any comments made to you that were not coming from myself or any attorneys?
Yes,
Who made a comment to you about your testimony?
Trayvon Newsome.
Point them out and identify them in the courtroom as to who you're referring to that made some comments to you.
Second, he had a blue suit,
Okay, there's two people wearing a blue suit. What race is he?
black,
And is he seated on the end, middle?
in the middle.
Okay. And who's that you're pointing out to?
Trayvon Newsome.
Your Honor, please let the court identify any court identification of Trayvon Newsome in this case for this matter. Okay. So Trayvon Newsome made a comment to you after you started testifying. What was the comment that Trayvon Newsome made to you after you started testifying in this case?
He called me a police ass nigga and said that I work for the white man and I'm a sellout.
What did you take that to mean when he's saying that to you?
Don't snitch.
And when you say that you took it as you're a snitch, how did you understand that to mean in terms of any impact that it would have on you as you're testifying still in this case?
Maybe it's a threat,
Did you take it that way?
a little bit.
No further questions.
Did you break for a second, go across?
No, just